Hello everyone and welcome back to the latest installment of the OHAD series, and I sincerely apologize because I started playing and I completely forgot to record. So yeah, I'm an idiot, I'm a dumbass, and I cocked up again. Not that I really got far. I mean, last time we were standing right over there. And I think on the last bit of the live stream I died and I was like, yeah, alright, my most loyal fan abandoned me, so I guess it's time to call it quits. I've been recording for long enough. Well, it turned out that they didn't abandon me, they had a laptop dying on them, so I was at first really afraid that I said something stupid or insensitive, or I don't know. I have a tendency to do that, but yeah, no, quite innocent, actually. Before I talk about what you guys missed, there was someone in the comment section that suggested that maybe I could do something with, you know, like them suggesting music or songs or whatever, and I like that idea. I like it a lot. However, it is kind of hard to implement it in the format as it is. I mean, I can of course put it down in the description, but that feels kind of redundant. So if you have any suggestion on how to tackle this, how to make a format where I can try to do something with music suggestions and whatnot, you know, let me know, and then maybe we can make it a musical Monday or something. That seems actually like a really fun thing, except with a lame pun. But anyway, I died a couple of times to this boss. But on my first way back, I actually defeated the NPC that invades you here. I walked right next to her to her spawning point, started backing away, and she rolled back, and I followed her and whacked again, and she fell off the cliff. So that was kind of anticlimactic. But yeah, I tried this 4 times with the NPC that you can summon here, Swordmaster. You obviously need to have killed him in Firelink Shrine for him to have his summons on here. Because in his second phase he gets really aggressive, and I have a hard time getting my dodges done, and you can parry this guy and get him for quite a bit of counter damage, but I'm not good at parrying, so I usually just try and dodge his attacks and, you know, get an attack in whenever I can. But in his second phase he's just relentless. But basically you fight here this is the same boss that you find in the Cemetery of Ash. In the Cemetery of Ash we fought Udex Gundyr, and here he is called Champion Gundyr. And he basically has the same moveset, except for phase 2 he doesn't have this huge humanity snake thingy emerging from his back. No, here he just gets more aggressive, uses more combos, and if you try and back up to heal, he will seize everything and anything that he's doing in order to charge you with his halberd and stomp you into the ground. So I like doing this with his summon, so you can tag team him. So one keeps him busy while the other heals, and that works quite well. But I don't know, I had way too much trouble dodging his attacks, even with the NPC summon. I had burned to my HP. Didn't win well until I decided to just summon in another player and we just teamrolled him. And I found it really interesting because he is weak to lightning, and I have my lightning longsword equipped, I have my lightning spells equipped. And the last time I got through this area, it was I believe on my Pyro build, and I just summoned an NPC, and just at the moment that the NPC aggroed Gundyr, I just started throwing fireballs at him, and he just died in seconds. I just melted him away. But yeah, you can get your best pyromancies way earlier than your best lightning spells, so that maybe is a factor. Anyway, I got his soul. I got also a Black Knight glaive. So if you're interested in that, you can find one just over there, in the boss area, no less. But we got the soul of Champion Gundyr, and that's really interesting because Udek's Gundyr did not drop such a soul. So let's take a quick look at this. Once a champion came late to the festivities and was greeted by a shrine without fire and a bell that would not toll. Well, we are just a bit away from this version of Firelink Shrine. Like we already noticed during the live stream, this is basically just a cemetery of ash. But there's no light, there's no sun, there are no stars, it's just pitch black. And that goes back to the question, is this a parallel version that entered the Age of Dark? And that would mean that, going by the description of Gundyr's soul, that he basically had the same job as you do. He was a champion, then let me put on some light because it's getting a bit dark in here. A champion chosen to link the fire, relight the flame, but he was apparently too late in order to prevent the flame from dying out. So there was no fire and the bell would not toll. There was no bell to toll anymore because there was no reason for the bell to toll. So let's pop back quickly to Firelink Shrine and see what his items have to say. So, if you've killed the boss, you can buy his armor set here at the Shrine Handmaiden. Where are they? Here they are. Gundyr's helm, armor. Gundyr, or the belated champion, was bested by an unknown warrior. He then became a sheath to a coiled sword in the hopes that someday the first flame would be linked once more. And basically that's all his armor set says. Note that it says ancient leggings, ancient gauntlets, ancient chest piece, ancient helm. Even modeled after a former king. So what is going on? Did we somehow go to the past? And kill Champion Gundyr there? That would explain why he did not drop a soul. That would explain why maybe he was taken over by the rampant humanity. Because he was just an empty shell after you defeated him and he just stayed there. And was basically a test for future Ash, like we are, like Siegward, like Henri, to prove they're worthy enough to do what he could not. But that doesn't explain why the area is without any light, why there are no stars, why there is no sun. Because if that's in the past, and you are here to preserve the age of light, the age of fire, why is it so dark? Why is there no fire in the past? Alright, if we look at his items, we have here his halberd. This old cast iron halberd has the power to break poison and is said to never crumble, seeming to suggest that Gundyr was fated to eternal service from the beginning. Portion of a steel chain used to restrain Gundyr. Gain vigor, endurance and vitality but take extra damage. A prisoner is one who has staked everything on a belief, a proclivity most apparent in the greatest of champions. So, it would seem that something went awry when Gundyr first tried to save the day and prolong the Age of Fire. He was woken too late, he arrived too late. We don't know exactly what happened, but he was too late. That is a given. However, this seems to have been anticipated to some extent. This old cast iron halberd has the power to dum-dum-dum, seeming to suggest that Gundyr was fated to eternal service from the beginning. A prisoner is one who has staked everything on a belief. most apparent in the greatest of champions. Ludleth, you have his items. Do you have anything more to say?
Illustrious Lord Seeker, or should I say, Lord Slayer? Fine kindling for the thrones, is it not? Each soul truly worthy of lordship, and all slain by thy hand to bind them to their throne.
Yes, we know. We know.
In death. Oh, I have no qualms, for as we are to our thrones, thou art to thy duty. In fact, methinks thou'st helped these poor lords along their rightful path.
Yes, you're righteous.
Ah, most illustrious.
No,
Oh,
he has nothing more to say. Well, there are plenty of theory videos on that, and one of the most common theories, or the most, I guess, the most accepted theory is that when Gundyr showed up too late, Ludleth here, or small, tiny Lord of Cinder, who managed to come all the way here even while missing his legs, broke time itself in order to put the end of the Age of Fire, as it happens, as we've seen in the Untended Graves, in a separate timeline, allowing you, or basically any unkindled one who was able to pass Champion or Udex Gundyr, to do what he could not. Anyway, lots and lots of stuff here that I'm not gonna go all over. This is by one of the best pyromancers in the game. You get this from the Killing the Old Demon King, and I actually used this to kill Gundyr. It's a really good spell. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys this weapon. I am gonna show you guys this weapon for a bit, just for fun's sakes. And I'm gonna buy this ring. Increases vigor and endurance and vitality, but take more damage. It doesn't give you a flat. It doesn't allow opponents to deal you a flat amount more damage. No, it actually just decreases your damage absorption rates by a certain percentage. I feel that I think it was like 10% before a patch, and then after the patch it was like 4%. So that's not a big deal if you are wearing like heavy armor or something. Like if you're doing a build with light armor, then yes, you take probably more damage than you should with this ring on, and you probably don't need it because, well, you can just invest in vigor and everything and endurance, and you don't need your high vitality. But if you're going for heavy armor and you want that bit of vitality, yes, it's a good trade-off, because yes, your armor is that bit less effective, but you do get more HP and more endurance, so it kind of balances out if you're wearing heavy armor. I'm just gonna buy this thing because I'm never gonna use this thing, not with my current stats. Yeah, this is not that interesting. Oh, what is interesting here are these two miracles, which I might just get at a certain point. As you can see, the requirements are really high, but if you turn in the Soul of Rosaria, you get the Bountiful Sunlight. Gradually restores a large amount of HP for self and those in vicinity. The miracles of Guinevere, loved as both mother and wife, bestow their blessing on a great many warriors. This is a miracle of Guinevere, but you get this from the Soul of Rosaria, and then that seems to suggest that Rosaria is indeed a god, or well, a goddess, and tied to the family of Gwyn. Maybe being another daughter, or maybe she's the daughter of Guinevere, but she is seemingly related. And here we have Soothing Sunlight, so Bountiful Sunlight and Soothing Sunlight, Soul of the Dancer. Restores a large amount of HP for self and those in the general area. Basically an upgraded version of Bountiful Sunlight. The miracles of Guinevere, the princess cherished by all, bestow their blessing on a great many warriors. Now remember what I said, the Erythilians are descendants of the gods, and that also may mean that the dancer is, however distantly, related to Guinevere and Gwyn. Which may be one of the reasons why Pontiff Sullivan sent her out with one of the rings to turn her into a outrider, bestial outrider knight. And that's exactly what happened until you came across her and killed her. Or well, I did actually.
Treat the firekeeper not with discourtesy.
Guy wasn't there.
She is much like thee.
Alright, it's time for me to explore the dark version of the Untended Graves. Have to be there. Big door. Very big door. No holos here this time. However, we do find Black Knights. Hello. Round and round we go. Oh. No, no, no. Unfriendly. Oh, I'm so used to bigger weapons. There we go. There's also one hidden right over here. Yeah, there we are. Oh. And I'm way too used to circling these guys in 2 hits. Alright, Hornet Ring. Which is a reference, just like the Leo Ring, to one of the Knights of Gwyn. There we go. Ring associated with the Lord's Blade, Kieran, one of the 4 Knights of Gwyn, the First Lord. Boosts critical attacks. The masked Kieran was the only woman to serve in Gwyn's 4 Knights, and her curved sword granted a swift death to any and all enemies of the throne. So boosts critical attacks, like backstabs, like counter hits, like if you just manage to hit an enemy just before he hits you, that's also a counter attack. Or after a parry, a frontal critical hit. Alright, the last one is found right over here. Hello, buddy. Come on, I want some space to work with. Ah! Not what I was going for, but that works wonders. There we go. I'm still not used to my Falcon. Welcome in due time, in due time. Alright. This is the spot where we found the Swordmaster first time. If you summon him, you will notice he's not using an energy katana anymore. he is using, dun dun dun, the Chaos Blade. And the Chaos Blade, what does it read? There we go. A cursed sword of unknown origin bearing uncanny streaks on its blade. Attacks also damage its wielder, and you will notice that if you summon him, for example, for Ford, if you summon him for Champion Gundyr, he will take some damage every time he attacks. The sword is not unlike a thing misshapen granted life, but never welcome in this world. In other words, chaos itself. It is one of the most damaging katanas in the game. I think it's number 2 on the list. But it does have its shortcomings. I mean, the self-damage, it's not the worst, but for example, if you're fighting an enemy that can just effectively turtle, sitting behind a shield while you attack him, and you have no way of going through, then you can only damage yourself. But for the rest, it's really nice katana, as far as katanas go. And yeah, here we are. As you guys can see, there is no one here. It's just a dark, damp Firelink Shrine. No one is here. Do note that if there are items in Firelink Shrine proper, if you haven't picked them up, you can pick them up here. Just like this giant tree, works perfectly. You can't go up onto the tower. You get no prompt. There is no ladder over here, but you can still use the tree jump, like I can't, to get on top of here and explore the bits of Firelink Shrine up there. And for the rest, this seems eerily empty, but it is not. Not completely. Not completely. Do note the complete absence of music and any kind of audio clues. It is just simply empty here. This is a void bit. And a coiled sword fragment, just like the one we found in Gundyr. Just like the one that we put into the fire here in our version of Firelink Shrine. Let's see, where is it? The fragment of the cold sword of a bonfire which served its purpose long ago. Returns caster to last bonfire used for resting, or to the bonfire in Firelink Shrine. Can be used repeatedly. This is basically just Homeward Bone, but then on steroids. And this is interesting. Fragment of the cold sword of bonfire which served its purpose long ago. And that seems to suggest that whatever happened here in this parallel timeline, this parallel dimension, whatever it is, this darkness has been around for a long time. Champion Gundyr has been standing there, or sitting there, or actually just kneeling there, for a long time. But his item description suggests that that is all in the past. So what happened? Have you been transported to the beginning of an age of dark? And has the fire been lit again? And it is just now at the end of an age of fire that followed this age that you've been awoken to preserve that age? Or something else going on? Dark Souls will mention that time is convoluted, and that time between worlds, between dimensions, isn't acting linearly. It's like timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly stuff. Like that. But we aren't completely alone. Look at this. The Shrine Handmaiden is here. There's no one else. There's just her. There is no more Andre, even though he persevered from the age of Dark Souls 1. Just his trusty blacksmith hammer. There's no Grarot. There's no Yoel or Yuria. No hint of the Sable Church. Just ashes. Umbral ash of a hollow who faithfully served a woman, only to become separated from her. With this, the Shrine Handmaiden will prepare new items. It takes but a brief glance at this thing to easily envision Londor, the foreboding land of hollows. There is no Carla, no Orbeck, no Cornix, and there is also no Irina. But worse, there's also no sign of the Firekeeper. Or is there? The eyes of a Firekeeper reveal horrors to the sightless Firekeeper. Said to be the eyes of the first Firekeeper and the light that was lost by all Firekeepers to come. It reveals to the sightless Firekeepers things that they should never see. But it does answer one age-old question. Her eyes are blue.
Well, fancy that. A lost lamb wandereth in, with nary a peep from the bell. Well, thou shouldst my purpose know. What can this old handmaid provide thee? To skirt the curse's grasp, tarry not for long. 'Tis dark for now, and not a soul stirs. But remember, fires are known to fade in quiet. Or perhaps thou'rt captive already, like the poor girl. To skirt the tarry not is dark for now. Or perhaps thou'rt captive like the
So
poor
she doesn't
girl.
recognize you. And of course, if that wouldn't be possible if this was in the past. But she does allude to your status as an unkillable one, someone who cannot just simply die, someone who is unwilling to give up. Well, the only thing that we died to was linking the fire. But we are here once again, we have risen once more. And she implies that we're just the same as that poor girl. Which poor girl? It can't be Henri. Because Henri's gender is dependent on the gender you have. Is she referring to the Firekeeper? Whose eyes you just found? Does that mean that she is still somewhere here? Well, she may sell you the key here to the tower behind Firelink Shrine. You still cannot open it. You cannot reach it. But she does sell, interestingly enough, the Wolf Knight armor, and that is the armor of Artorias. Artorias of the Abyss. One of the other knights of Gwyn, one of the 4 knights, and practically their leader. And he was sent in Dark Souls 1. Well, actually before the main game happened, to Ulasil to combat the Rising Abyss. But he was tainted by it and he was corrupted. A vanquished knight left behind only a wolf's blood and his legacy of duty. The undead legion of Hermos formed to bear his torch, and the armor of these Abyss Watchers suggest their own eventual end. Now, I like his armor set, so I'm gonna buy it. I'm also gonna buy this priestess ring. In Lothric, the High Priestess has long been considered one of the 3 pillars of the king's rule. The High Priestess also served as the princess' wet nurse. And the 3 pillars are the knights and the hunters. And here are the priestesses. Alright, I'm not gonna buy the rest of his armor. I do like the Wolf Knight helm, but the rest just looks really, really skinny.
Best not tarry long.
Alright. As you can see, it's not the best armor. Better resistances. Well, curse resistant, that is. Everything is lower, weight is the same, and it has way less poise. But I like it. It looks cool. I like blue over red. Alright. Before we leave here, let's take a quick look at this bit. Because maybe we can... I'm not sure we can enter the tower over here. We cannot. So we're not gonna get any more answers just yet from this place. But it seems, it seems that this happened in the past. That there was an age of darkness. And you have been awoken not only to prolong the current age of fire, but also to make that age of fire possible in the first place. So, old stuff. Old stuff.
Well met. How may I be? Ashen One, bring me with
You've nothing to say about meeting me in the past. No.
Gracious, let this I only.
Let's see if we get any more items that I can just point out immediately. I don't know, I don't think so. Yeah, Pershing stones, poison throwing knives. These you get, because those were in the inventory of Yuria. And now they're here. I'm just gonna ignore those for now. But we have the eyes of a firekeeper, and if we talk to the firekeeper right now, we can give her eyes.
Ashen One, are these eyes? How gracious of thee, Ashen One. The very things we firekeepers have been missing. Ashen One, my thanks for the eyes thou'st given. But firekeepers are not meant to have eyes. It is forbidden. These will reveal through a sliver of light frightful images of betrayal. A world without fire.
Gasp.
Ashen One, is this truly thy wish? Of course. I serve thee, and will do as thou bidst. This will be our private affair. No one else may know of this. Stay thy path. Find lords to link the fire, and I will blindly tend to the flame. Until the day of thy grand betrayal. Farewell, Ashen One. Mayst thou thy peace discover.
Alright, that's kind of a huge bomb right there. We gave her eyes and she's talking about betrayal. Ludleth, what do you have to say about all this?
Eyes show a world destitute of fire, a barren plain of endless darkness, a place.
Let me quickly turn off the heat here. It's getting awfully warm in here.
So, I willed myself, Lord, to link the fire, to paint a new vision. What is thine intent? The eyes. So, what is? I took the mantle of Lord of Cinder of mine own volition. I speak these words with pride. Choose thy fate alone. Seize it with thine own hands. All the more should thy fate impale such foul betrayal.
Right, so what we may have witnessed in the Untended Graves could very well be an Age of Dark. And it seems that in order to make it possible that an Age of Fire could be there, Ludleth linked the fire instead of Champion Gundyr. And he made pretty much all this possible in sort of an alternative timeline. And that's why the Shrine Handmaiden doesn't recognize us from the past. And that is why we find the eyes of a firekeeper there, because they allow the darkness to exist. And by giving the eyes to our firekeeper, right here, the one who has been here for us the whole time, who has guided us and provided us healing when we needed it most. We created an opportunity for another Age of Darkness. Alright, but in less dramatical tones. There are multiple endings to this game. If you don't do anything to get an alternative ending, you will go for the link in the fire. But by giving the eyes to our firekeeper, you get one of two alternative endings where you basically let the flame go out. Just let the Age of Fire end. Pretty much like the cycle it is. If you go by Uria's questline, which I'm not doing, then you pretty much stand up as a Lord of Hollows and taking control of the new Age of Darkness. But at least we now have the Firekeeper standing behind us, and we still have a choice. What do we want to do with the Age of Fire? But those are questions for another time. Those need not be answered right here, right now. For now, we have more pressing matters at hand. And I'm gonna take a break from the main game. And we'll be going into the DLC. At least for a bit. at least for a bit. And this is the wrong bit. And also let me just check really quickly how many chunks I have. Yeah, might as well level up my longsword. I'm gonna go with my longsword. No, I'm not gonna go with my longsword. I'm gonna go... Yeah. Choices. It's really, really hard. I might just wanna level up a bit.
Tis good it wasn't easy.
Nope. Here we go.
Pretty be careful. I don't want to see my work squandered.
Did I give you your scroll already?
Back again, perfect. Oh my, this is a masterful sorcerer, long missed in Vinheim. And now we have his scroll, right here in my very hands. Promise to stay safe.
I am pleased to have a pupil as dedicated as you. What have we here? A pyromancy tome from Izalith. Then you found the home of pyromancy. Brilliant! I will never curse being old and undead again. Now, show it here, quickly. Let us channel them together. The primal pyromancy is known only to old Master Salaman. Do not be gone for long. What is a teacher without a pupil?
Well, I said that I should go into the DLC, but I actually kind of want to upgrade my lightning spear first. You know what? Let's do that. The DLC can wait. It doesn't really matter. Let's go to Lothric Castle and head for the Altar of Sunlight. While people are complaining that the DLC is quite... At least the first bit of DLC is not really large. It's still large enough to take me multiple episodes, so I might as well just do Lothric Castle a bit for now. Because I want Titanite chunks. And yeah, we can see an ambush already there. Oh. And there is an ambush right over here. Yeah, that guy over there, he's throwing undead hunter charms at you, preventing you from healing, so annoying. But first, big guy. Oh. Spin to win, my mate. Spin to win. And he won. He actually won. Like I mentioned, I'm used to great swords, and you stagger enemies way more easily, and I'm just so used to that I completely forgot that that doesn't happen with my Falchion. I'm not really a flexible player, I guess. Alright, let's try this again. Ooh. I'm really not doing well. And why am I stuck there? There we go. Right up your fat horse. My dodging game is definitely not on point. There we go. Finally. Alright, just a shard. Just a large shard, not what I'm interested in. Not bad, long shot. Alright peeps, here is a hidden bit. Here we find the Winged Knight's armor. So if we are talking about Fashion Souls, well, this pretty much is the epitome. Playing the game as a fat guy. Alright, let's take a look at the item description, shall we? Armor of the Winged Knights, named for their appearance, who swore themselves to the angels. What angels? Worship of the divine messengers was viewed as heresy in Lothric and unrecognized by any of the three pillars of rule. So the priestesses, the knights and the hunters. This is believed to be why Gertrude, who is Gertrude, the heavenly daughter, was imprisoned in the lofty cell of the Grand Archives. Huh, that's some late game exposition. About stuff that we haven't found or heard about anywhere else before. It is kind of all that, you know, this just pops up right here, right now, after most of the game. Suddenly, some brand new stuff. Anyways, Spellbloom shield. I love the aesthetics of the shield. It is a beautiful, beautiful shield. Just look at it. Just look at it. It's beautiful. It looks really, really, really cool. And you can parry spells with it. So if someone fires a spell at you, you can just deflect it. So if your parry game is on point, you can do really cool stuff with that. Oh! You're getting way too enthusiastic. Alright. Because I suck. Can I? I can heal again. There we go. Look at the sun, by the way, and whatever's floating down there. Or floating down there. Up there. The sun seems to be eclipsed, and it looks just like the dark sign. Interesting of note. Stop it, you. And these guys flying up there, we've actually seen them before. At the start of the game. I don't know if we can see them up close, but they, if you manage to get to see them up close, I don't know if I'm gonna manage that this time. They actually really look like those hollows turn into trees. So those tree hollows are some kind of larval stage, and these guys, the real deal. Pilgrim butterflies, they're called. They're gonna annoy us. Not just yet, there's a certain bit where they suddenly decide to annoy us, and well... Ugh. Stupid guys. Alright, just a large soul, nothing too impressive. And yeah, like we would fall for that. 2 death magics, nice, nice. Yes, you are still annoying. Alright, next bonfire. We can go ahead and light it. We have just an ember, and if we go this way, yeah, dragon, life 1, good times are ahead, good times ahead, really. And here we have a red-eyed knight. There we go. And a great lens, look at that. I think this is the only, maybe one of the few great lances in the game. This lance features a long pole and was originally intended to be used for knights, by knights for jousting. This weapon is primarily used in charging attacks and would require tremendous strength and dexterity to be handled by a mere foot soldier. Yeah. Those are some requirements. Alright. I'm just gonna go ahead and equip a Silver Gathering because we're gonna do some jumping. And we are gonna want a charcoal pine resin and just fireballs, just to be sure. Because next bit is gonna be highly unpleasant. Nah, that's not true. Alright, dragon, that's one. That's another one. And that is them breathing fire. Undead bouncer, so that is good. And I'm gonna show you guys not so innocent hollows because, well, yeah. Nope. Now my dodging game is really off point. Low key, I don't know what's happening. as usual, if you're quick, the serpent isn't gonna emerge, but, well, you're gonna get less goodies and less souls, so decide for yourself what you value more. Alright, some lightning urns, never hurt. And it's actually a trip and I'm gonna ignore it. I'm just not gonna care. Because Hollow Thieves. Usually he's content with just standing here and throwing annoying. And throwing knives at you, but this guy actually got the courage to walk up to me, I guess. Alright, even more thieves. And throwing knives and all that jam and jazz. And I got stepped in the chest because I was careless. Now, before we jump down, let me heal up and explore this bit. And we actually have another Winged Knights. Gee, good times. My dodging point really is not on point. There you go, buddy. Then it's time for vengeance. And just some sniper crossbow. Haha, time revenge, yeah. Indeed! Whoop, whoop, whoop. Jumping down here. And back at the bonfire. Now, if you rest at the bonfire, all good and well, but I advise against it, unless you can go to the next bit really quickly. Why? Because these hollow guys with their humanity snakes, they will respawn, and if you just stand here, they will wander up to you, and the humanity snake will erupt, and they can actually reach you from down there. So I like to just clear. Accidentally fall down, that's too bad. But clear the bit here down, and then take the long and scenic route, basically, before going that way. And you usually are either skilled enough or have enough Estus to you know, like, not really care about it. So here we go. I would advise against running past the dragons. We need to be behind them at a certain point. But, you know, fire attack, 2 of them. You know what I mean. You know, that's most of the time not gonna end well. Alright, there we have an annoying hollow. I like to... Oh, I'm fat rolling. Again. I like using this guy like this because if we get too close, the following thing happens. Way too enthusiastic Halberd guy. Why don't I have a weapon equipped? Ooh. Damn, you stupid guy. Alright, there we go. Alright. There are 2 Lothric Knights over there, but you can just leave them alone. There are some items up there, but we can't just reach them yet. So ignore it. Ignore them. We grab a large soul of a nameless soldier here, and over here is another item. A raw gem. Because we need raw gems at this point in the game, I guess. Now, there is an Outrider Knight here down below, but the easiest way to kill this guy involves luring him upstairs and getting him stuck here. But with those dragons around, that's not gonna happen. So what I'm gonna do is ignore this guy for now. And just go past the dragons and onto the next bits. Where are my red spark bits? There they are. Just make a beeline for it. Usually they react too slowly for you to be hit by the fire, but if you do, just pop a red bit, poke at it, and you're fine. Now this bit, we've guys throwing fire bombs at you while there are these explosive barrels around, so not really cool of them. Righto, righto. No! How dare you? How dare you? Alright, these guys up there, they are just fodder. Can I hit them from here? I can't. Oh! But I can just fall down. Ooh, nice. Just some fire bombs because irony. Alright, let me clean up the mess here first. These hollows, passive, will not attack you unless you attack them. But I actually want to clear some space here, because that is a mimic. We are gonna attack it in just a minute. Some awesome Titanite skill, and time to make some room. And even more Titanite skill. Yay! Some Pale Resin. Yeah, that is the way forward proper, but I'm first gonna go here. For several reasons, because, well, that is a familiar sight. Alright, now, if you're feeling cheesy, you can just equip a bow, and I'm gonna show you guys in a minute. But if you're feeling less cheeky, you should just go ahead and equip your chocolate pine resin. Because dude's weak to fire, yo. And be careful with these barrels here. Come on, let's pop that pimple. There we go. Some rampant humanity. What's doing inside a dragon? Oh, be careful because the spirit attack does curse you. Well, that's some disappointing damage. As you can see, weak to fire. So let me just actually do this proper. And hopefully not die in the process. Because I tend to do that. No, not what I wanted to do. I wanted to throw a fireball. I don't really know what's up, guys. I'm just not on my game today. And to be honest, I did have a really bad night, but that's, well, bad night is not fair to say. I had trouble sleeping, falling asleep. Alright, killing these guys. Let's use some titanite chunks, some embers, and you can also grab a titanite shard that they might drop as well. Alright, empty here. That dragon for some reason is dead as well, so you can just go in here, pick up all the items. I'm gonna do that in just a minute. And you get there by going around the back here. Grab a titanite chunk. This is where we found those hollow thieves and a crystal lizard, just like there's a crystal lizard over here. There we go, some twinkling titanite. And titanite skill, even. A refined gem for all quality builds. An ember. Another ember. And some lightning urns. So, how do you like it now? So, alright, the next order of business is opening this gate. And that's the simple part. The hard part is what comes next, I guess. So here's just a lever, then easy, and open it. Now the hard part is there. Red-eyed knight with a huge freaking sword, and there are also some priests wandering about just to get this by a buff. So I'm just gonna go and can I target him from here? I can. He is, by the way, resistant to lightning, and I was going to do a plunging attack, but I died. Well, at least the gate is open, so we should be able to just run up to him this time. Or just ignore him. But hey, at least the bridge is safe now. But that did more damage than I expected. I mean, he's doing lightning damage, so I assume that he would be resistant to lightning, but that 334 damage at that range, that's not even that bad. No, I'm not gonna ignore you. Ah, no. He blesses his weapon. I guess he even gets a nice little buff from his priesty helper. There we go, dual charms, that's what I'm looking for. Ah, that does a lot of damage. And I apparently still can dodge. Alright, enough with you. And there's a second one. Man. Not too pleased with that. And you are something. That does way too little damage. Not too pleased with that. Dodging game not on point. Well, I am way too tired. Maybe that also explains why I've been performing badly. So I'm gonna tackle that bit next episode and hopefully get my upgraded sunlight spears. Not sunlight spears. Lightning spear. The great lightning spear. Dum 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 dum. I'm not sure if I get to them tomorrow. If I have time tomorrow to do that. Yay, English. Hard. No, it's not. But I'm gonna try. So keep an eye out for that. And again, let me know down below in the comments what you think about. If you have any thoughts about me doing something with music, or talking about music, or doing something with music, and I'm repeating myself. Yay! But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Cheerio!